Alright, welcome back to the channel mga tol. Once again, Rob Luna, and we will be reacting here on the video that was made by Assassin Dave. Alright, about MPL PH qualifier daw was a joke. Doggy won for free and binrake down niya. Then as well yung ating main qualifiers. And yeah, of course, before we actually head on to the video is that first and foremost, I was really thinking very hard kung gagawa ba talaga ako ng reaction on this because I normally don't do reaction videos. Well, I guess I did once. But on the specific one, kasi I want to let you know guys, I'm a fan of a quote na we are all entitled on our own opinions. Okay, so I respect the opinion of Dave, but what I don't accept is the way he actually used the words MPL PH qualifier was a joke. Okay. Because you're not just pertaining on the players on the team, but you're actually looking on the whole broadcast, or I mean the whole org of MPL Philippines, and that's actually for me not acceptable. I mean, for you to be able to give such remarks on the and by the way, to those people who actually don't know me, I'm Rob Luna. I'm the host for MPL season 4 to season 5, and I also shoutcasting as well for the games. And for the season, I will be a shoutcaster. All right. So it really heartbreaking yung mga comments niya about this. And but before we actually head on, we will be going ahead dito, of course, in our video. And by the way, guys,
how
you
is
expect
everyone doing? This is your guy, Assassin Dave, and welcome to another episode of MPL Breakdown, hashtag Dave Talk. Today, we're going to talk about MPL, Mobile Legends Professional League Philippines main qualifier event. And we actually have my good friend Doggy's team participating. And in the end, they actually end up getting out of the group stage and go into the MPL. I think this is pretty exciting. I watched the entire qualifier, and I gotta say, Doggy, you lucky doggy, okay? I think this entire qualifier is more of a clown show, to be honest. I think a lot of teams, they shouldn't be qualified. I feel like North American teams at this point could have actually pulled off a real fight in Mobile Legends Professional League PH, right, with you guys.
Wow. All right, let's try to break it down. All right, the way he actually said it, number one, Doggy is so lucky to be able to came out on the qualifiers. Okay, first and foremost, hindi nakalabas or hindi nakaalis si Doggy sa qualifiers because his team was annihilated way back round 7. Let me go ahead and pull out here. Okay, this one. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, this was the team of Doggy, if I'm not mistaken. The Vongola Familia lost during... I'm not actually showing it right. Okay. So, ito siya mga kaibigan. Ayan. This is the round 7, okay, nung July 24. Ito yung laban nila against third chapter. Ito yung last round before tayo magkaroon ng best of 3, okay? Then, third chapter is yung nakalaban ng Team C, which is yung Team Chicolet, okay? Sila yung ito yung nakapasok sa bracket nila, Doggy, okay? So, meaning to say, Doggy didn't get out on the qualifiers. He didn't actually make it sa main qualifiers. Probably ang sinasabi niya rito is because NXP Solid is a part as well nila Doggy kasi they were like from the Aider fam. All of them were I'm not really sure, but a lot of them were from NXP. Okay? Number 2, the way na sinabi niya yung part na though these teams are somehow hindi capable or hindi karapat-dapat na nandito sa qualifiers ng MPL. Okay. Siguro let's shed a light ng konti dito kay Dave. Hopefully he actually understands us. Is the first and foremost, before you actually, how can you be able ba na sumali sa MPL qualifiers? Number 1, you have to register because it's gonna be given for free. There's a time frame kung kailan lang kayo magre-register. 5 individuals at least na capable to play Mobile Legends, of course. Then, yeah, yun lang yung kailangan nyo. You just have to fill out a certain form at kasali ka na sa MPL qualifiers. That's the reason why we have 1,207 teams in total. Of course, Dahil yung mga tao na sumali doon, those were the teams, probably just squad, mga nagkilala online, na nangarap sila. They actually wanted to be on the professional scene. They're just an aspiring individuals. Probably they were kids, actually wanting to be able to participate into the MPL. And as you were saying, that these teams are not your so-called ano ba yung exact term na ginamit niya? Ito yung mga teams na hindi capable to be able to join on the qualifiers. Man, number one, this is still an amateur teams, and everyone on the amateur teams, as long as you have two hands and a phone and an internet and Mobile Legends is installed in it, by all means, you could join. You could join. Definitely, you could join. And that's the reason why we have qualifiers in the first place, because we wanted to filter out all the teams, all the players that could be able to play, all right, could be able to play on the regular season. And mind you as well, guys, is that it's hindi kasalanan, all right? It's not the fault of the team kung their team was far more greater than the other amateur teams, because pinaghirapan nila yan eh. They work hard for it. And how can you be able to discredit those individuals? Alright? Siguro hindi ko na babalikan. I've been talking too long about this one. Pero the way he said it, sabi niya mas magaling yung NA daw compare sa PH amateur. Well, we could agree to disagree, pero it's his own opinion. Probably tama, then probably hindi. But the only one thing that you have to do here is you have to respect as well kung ano man yung nakikita mo, and never ever compare for me this is one example of a bias analysis, to be honest. But of course, we will be going ahead and check once more on the part of the video.
Guys, before you guys trash talk, I want you guys to watch the entire video and hear me out.
No, I'm not gonna trash talk you. No, I'm not really gonna trash talk you. I'm gonna pinpoint the things that you should know as well. I mean, probably the reason why you're actually saying it aloud is because you don't know the exact information on what's actually happening on here in the Philippines.
I want to first quickly talk about the overall sensation that I got after watching 2 full days of MPL Philly. If you watch MPL Indonesia qualifier, where Team RQ, I was talking about how RQ was able to...
Number one, this is not the qualifiers ng Indonesia, and you actually clearly put it here. This is the invitational, okay? Probably wala siyang clip, but definitely this clip is not from the qualifiers of Indonesia.
Dominate the Indonesia qualifier, because guys, they are the only team who pick initiators, who pick certain amount of quad control heroes like Loi, like Valir, like Farsa consistently. They don't have to go show off their skills on picking.
Did they actually said Parsa initiator?
Someone like Eudora. They don't troll like that. Okay, they don't pick Alucard, they don't pick Dairoth. They pick hero.
They don't pick Dairoth or Diroth. Are you is actually pertaining to the Archangel pick? Okay, we have a small talk here with Midnight, if one of our casters as well, is that the Diroth is a meta on some other countries, and it's actually an anti-funnel. The reason why Archangel is using it, and mind you as well, Dave, they did practice that. Those were things that called pocket strategy. In case you don't know it, those were the things that you just pull out of your hat or your arsenal just to surprise your opponent. All right, it's not something that they just wanted to pick because it's available. It's because they did practice that hero. And if you're gonna argue with us or with me in terms of these heroes aren't meta, there are better heroes like Johed or other fighters probably. Well, to mind you, how did those heroes made it into the meta? It's because credible teams did made it work. Okay, I think you could be able to watch as well. Paolo Expert, he did made good arguments in the RRQ using Balmond. All right, I mean, no one uses Balmond. Yeah, he's actually right about that. And the only thing or the only time na naging inaccept siya because ginamit siya ng RRQ. And I mean, if you're not just being biased here, and what do you actually call yourself in this situation?
That is in the meta, where you go to MPL PH. I watched the entire 2 days, 9 hour per day. I watched all of them. And
9 hours per day, watch all of them. And the way you say it, it's like you actually regret it. I hope not.
I figure a lot of teams actually pick Dairoth when there are tons of other fighters available, when Jawhead available, when all the other heroes available, they would pick Dairoth. For what?
For what? Because it's their packet strategy. Because they practice it. Because they wanted to use it. Man, I mean, is there any call of respect with them? I mean, if that worked, would you actually call it for what? You're just saying the facts because it didn't work for that moment. But if you actually watch, like what you've said, the D-Rot of Archangel did work for them on the early stages, right? If I'm not mistaken, they did use it before the main qualifiers, and you have nothing to say about that because you weren't here. You weren't watching the whole. The whole qualifiers itself.
I feel like Mobile Legends Professional League in PH have a lot of people that just want to show off. Look at us, we're gonna win with this hero. We're gonna win with Alucard, which is.
Do you really think it that way, Dave? This people, this kids, this players here are just trying to show up, man. Halos lahat, everyone nang sumali ng qualifiers, they're looking forward na makapasok, and you're just gonna say that they want like to show off? To be honest, these people doesn't really need to show off because they were already good individually. It just so happened that this is a bigger tournament for them. Probably there are jitters going into the qualifiers, pero they were already good and they were already popular on the way they play, and they're not showing off. They're actually just letting the world, or letting the MPL here in the Philippines know that they could be able to withstand here just using this kind of heroes.
Absolutely unprofessional, because this is competitive.
Unprofessional, this is competitive. Yeah, number one, it's correct. This is a competitive match. But unprofessional, how? How can you be able to say it's unprofessional, man? I would like to enlighten you guys that in order for you to be able to be called pro here on the Philippines, number one is that you have to be able, or you have played on the MPL. Why? Because these players here in the Philippines is that they are given an ID coming from GAB, alright, Gaming Amusement Board. They are actually have license in order for you to be called pros. Even on the nationals, they also have, even us, shoutcasters, analysts, and even the team managers of organizations, they are given IDs, all right, to be able to be called pros, all right. So everyone here on the amateur, on the main qualifiers, are not yet pros up until you actually made it, like Signal Ultra and NXP Solid. That's the time you're already pro.
All right, it's not a show. If you want to get a show, tell the developers to adopt the all-round ban pick that we talked about, that we implemented in North America Open Season Championship, where you have the opportunity to show off on a competitive level. Before that, in this current game where you can pick all heroes anytime you want, why are you picking troll heroes? Let's start out with the first game, NXP versus BP. Both games, BP did not pick a single initiator.
BP did not pick a single. Alright, that's Popolin, Koopa, Hellcurt, Loyi, Gato, and as well with the Lunox. Okay, so if you actually agree with me, guys, Popolin Koopa is an initiator, alright, for the bite. Hellcurt as well, with the ulti, then Petrify, and Deadly Poison Stinger. Gato Kacha can also be an initiator. I mean, the taunt, and even the avatar of the Guardian if you jump. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, there are actually 3, or even Loyi can be. Okay, if he could be able to do the combo. So, where in the part of BP that doesn't have initiator? But by the way, if you're actually been watching even international teams, Popolin Koopa can be just not a support or a pos 4. This is sometimes they use it as a tank as well. This is a more on aggressive draft for the Popolin Koopa as a utility hero. So
The only
yeah, I
initiator
don't
hero
know
they
with
had
him.
was game 1 where they had a Katal Kacha. And that's not really an initiator. That's what I call the epitome of trolls. Alright? You basically just
Epitome of troll. Alright. I don't know with this guy if kung alam niya ba talaga yung salitang respeto sa draft.
trolled. I mean, you simply cannot play a game when your team doesn't have a steady, a reliable source of initiation. That's basic of any MOBA. This is not your 5 versus 5 rank going against people who are 100 points, 200 points. This is not rank. This is competitive. I can't believe that a team at this level would not pick a simple initiator. What is going on?
Again, there are initiators. You just fail to acknowledge that they were.
Are you talking about North American team sucks? No, not after watching this.
I guess it came out of you that NA sucks. I'm not really sure. I'm not even watching, and to be honest, I don't really know how you guys play. But like what you've said,
this
probably.
professional league, at least the qualifier, got me cringe so hard. I watched this, I just don't know what I was watching. Let's quickly take a look at the game 2 ban pick. The game 2 ban pick, BP once again did not pick a single initiator. Guess who they had as their tank hero? They had
Oh, all right. So Cho cannot be called as initiator. Well, I like what I've said. Popol and Kupa could initiate. All right. Kung iisipin natin, what are the things that he actually considered as an initiator? Those were just simply tanks, like the Kufra, the jump, and the rage. Are those the only thing that you could be able to think as an initiator?
had Popo and Koopa. That's their main tank. They had Lilia as support. They have almost no crowd control. You have heroes like freaking Chow. You have heroes like freaking Lilia and Lancelot. Okay, all 3 heroes. Chow is a single target crowd control, maybe a knockup, a small AOE, and you got an Export, right? No crowd control. You got a Popo and Koopa. That's a single target crowd control as well. I mean, what is going on? Meanwhile, you look at a Doggy's team. Doggy's team didn't do anything special. All they had was a Kufra, all they had was a Farsa, and guess what? Those are just basic meta heroes that they picked up. There was nothing special to their rotations. Is NXP's rotation just magical compared to BP? I do not think so. It's 1-3-1 basic. Everybody do the same thing.
Are you actually saying that the pick coming from the NXP or at least Doggy's team, as you are actually assumptive that he's actually part of it, is that they won because they picked the so-called meta that you know, and there is nothing special about it. Do you actually think that they did practice it? I mean, you're actually just trying to portray the meta that you wanted, or I mean, or at least the meta that you only can think of. It is, if I'm not mistaken, that was Indonesian meta.
The only thing is, they pick heroes that's gonna win in a freaking team fight, whereas their opponent BP pick heroes that make no sense. This is literally the composition I would get on my team when I play solo queue, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a 5 versus 5 competitive. I don't know what's going on under scrims. I mean, what is Lilia gonna do in the middle of the team fight? Yes, early game is a little bit strong. Yes, they end up getting a first blood, I think. But what is Lilia gonna do in a mid to late game team fight?
Well, in terms of the drafting, yeah, I would definitely agree with him on this part that NXP Solid has a better draft compared to BP. But I only would like to say is that why is there? I would just like to defend why they're actually doing it, because the difference in between the teams are actually big. Huge in terms of because it's NXP is a whole organization, and just to let you know, BP, this is Team GSAP, okay? GSAP, if you actually read it backward, that's Pasig. That was a city here in Metro Manila in the Philippines. That these individuals were friends from that particular place, and they just lucky enough to be able to go up until the main qualifiers. All right. So are you saying to me, I mean, this team, this 5 individuals that doesn't have a coach, doesn't have anything, are not you cannot be able to respect them? I mean, are you saying to me that they are not capable on winning is because they do this draft? Because this is what they practice. This is what they do. So I guess before you actually state the fact that these people are not drafting the way you wanted them to draft, is that probably you just have to go back in history. Who are these people? Who are BP? Who are Team Gisap? All right, these were young individuals that are really aspiring to be able to go into the MPL just by the mere fact of determination. All right, and you're actually crushing it because you think they weren't good enough, just like what you think what's good enough, man.
Nothing. Nothing. How is it gonna stop Farsa? Farsa outranged Lilia, and Helker can one-shot Lilia, right? Right? You have a Lancelot can one-shot Lilia as well. You have a bunch of heroes that can one-shot your entire team. If Kufa jumps on your team, what is Lilia gonna do to stop them? Nothing. I'm not gonna talk about this game anymore. The first game, I think Doggy absolutely got a free ride. And let's quickly go into the next game where NXP taking on Team Chicks, CCCC. For the first game, CCCC Team Chicks did not pick a single support. They had Atlas, which is really good. They had Jawhead as a support. Basically, they had 2 melee heroes in mid. And what will happen with that is you're missing out poke. You're missing out a lot of crowd control. Yes, you have a really, really strong presence early on, but this will quickly fade away once enemy team outpoke you. And that's exactly what happened to Team CCCC. Because NXP has Valir, which counters Jawhead, which counters Atlas, which counters Harith, right? They'll probably even counter Hayabusa if you push properly. The fact that you have so many options available and you end up picking a Jawhead first pick, it's just beyond me, right? Loi is available. Where is the common sense, right? Don't you guys watch MPL Indonesia? Why not pick Loi early on?
All right. Why would you? Well, I could agree with him. Aloy could be a better pick, but if you're actually trying to compare with the meta from Indonesia to the meta here in the Philippines, is that I'm pretty sure probably there's part of you is correct, but like what we've said, these people or probably these players doesn't have the enough resources to be able to have someone like a coach or someone to look after them to be able to play or to get the draft with them. This were definitely people just wanted to play the game. But sad to say, they couldn't be able to grasp the exact meta that what this Dave is trying to portray. But if we could be able to argue in terms of the meta of each country, probably Indonesia could be able to have such good meta for right now. Probably you could say that. These were the things that we could agree to disagree because yes, Indonesian meta is quite different on the meta here in the Philippines, but who are we to say that which one is better? I mean, it's your own prerogative to say which one is better for you. But for these people, this is what they think what's right for them at that moment. And we could only say this because it's already done. I mean, it's already finished. Subconsciously, probably, they did wrong on that specific draft. But I mean, the Jawhead pick, for God's sake, is actually viable, to be honest, even as a tank. If you we were one of the broadcasters of Racer C Invitational, and Jawhead is being used as a tank with a support emblem, and it's really, really viable, if I may say.
This hero is probably the strongest. I'm not gonna say the second strongest. I'm gonna say probably the strongest. The strongest.
I agree with Loi. I've been using Loi, and I guess he's one of the strongest support hero right now.
Support in the game. Bars none, no second best.
By the way pala mga tol, sorry kung panay tayo English dito kasi I'm really hoping na makita to ni Dave.
Okay? And then you have Jawhead instead of a Loi. Imagine you have Loi this game, right? I don't know why Loi is just not picked today at all by Team Chicks. Maybe this never played this hero. Maybe this hate this hero. I don't know. You know, maybe they never had success with this hero. Maybe the coach thought, okay, maybe my player hero put in support this hero. But it's not a hard hero though. Like my viewers can play it, I can play it, and I don't play that many hours compared to the professional players in Philly. You guys can play it. Why not?
Number one, again and again, they were not professionals. They weren't professional. That's the reason why they're on the qualifiers, because they were amateur teams longing and wanting to be on the MPL, to be so-called pros.
First pick, Loi, I don't understand. This hero literally counter every single one on entire NXP's team. That support will single-handedly carry the entire game. He would counter Kufra, he would counter Roger, he would almost counter Valir, who would almost certainly counter Thamus. Right? Maybe you need some PO to protect against Hellcurt. That's about it. But they didn't pick it. Alright, let's continue to the next game. The second game, Team Chicks win it with their Jawhead once again, but this time what surprised me was the Chang'e pick. Why?
All right. Quick disclaimer. I'm not. I don't really know if I could be able to find it, but yeah. If you just to let you know, Team Chick, one of the players, I'm not really sure who, is one of the players who's on the top PH for the Chango, and I guess this is a very comfortable pick with them. And if he actually watched Team Chick play it, they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they did one against Ifios. I'm not really sure which one, but they did one using the Chango. Definitely. I watched that, I just forgot. I'm too lazy to check which team, but they did use it on the qualifiers, and the Chango with them is very, very effective.
Chang'e, right? This hero is a rank hero. Okay, it's basically a rank hero that would be really popular in legend to low mythic rank. Okay, it's not.
This is a rank hero on your prerogative, on your meta. All right. But these players, like what we've said, this is a pocket strategy coming out from them, and this is something that they would like to surprise their opponent.
Not something you abuse in a competitive scene. Chang'e is easily countered. If enemy team pick, for example, Boxia, if they pick Lolita, right? Why would you pick Chang'e? It makes no sense. It simply made no sense to me, and they end up doing it, and because of that, they lost the game heavily to NXP. And you know what, guys? When we move to the very last game, where Team Chicks take on Team NXP, they did not learn from their mistake. They lost once with Chang'e Hyper Carry. They're like, this is not enough. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so Team Chicks, when they met NXP again in a grand final for this qualifier, guess what they did? They decided to take out Chang'e yet again. Alright, because I don't know, maybe someone's a Loli fan, just absolutely love Loli characters, and they just decided to do it, and then they want to prove to the world that I'm gonna make Chang'e meta. Okay, I don't care if Chang'e is revamped, I don't care if it's Layla.
Alright. Eto, galing na sa kanya mismo. I mean, this is a complete naysayer for me. I mean, a complete bias analysis. I mean, I don't care because you only care about the meta that you think is good for you in your eyes, in your mind. All right. So where is the actual respect on the analysis on this part? You don't really care. You just want people to care on your thoughts, not about the whole picture.
As we went, I don't care. Okay, I'm the best player. I'm the king of the jungle. I'm the king of the building. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm just gonna take Chang'e and be useless this entire game because that's what I'm all about. I think that's exactly what Team Chick decided to do. Maybe they had success in Scrim, but once again, guys, strong or not strong, it's all relative. Chang'e is not a bad hero, like I said, in rank. In competitive scene, you could have picked a lot better heroes as your hyper carry. They did not do that. Chang'e hyper carry? It's just, what, why? And the very last game, the very last match, NXP going against Team CCCC. Once again, Team Chicks, with Valir available, with Loi available, they decided not to go with it. Okay, they decided to go with Kagura. I mean, I understand Kagura has a little bit more survivability in front of Selena. Maybe in front of Helkert? Sure, makes some sense.
Alright, so he's actually talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, about the Kagura pick, right? Okay, so I did save a picture here from I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. Alright, is it? Please focus, camera. Oh my god, it's not focusing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but anyway, you probably could be able to see it now. Alright, there you go. Okay, see that? That's a Philippine number 3 Kagura, that's Cax, okay? That was exactly the player who did use, alright, the Kagura here. And, of course, Dave doesn't know that. Alright, it's just looking on the perspective that is not effective because they did lose. But if you actually know the players, they are capable on winning on that hero, and that's what they thought on that time. And who are you or who are we to say that it's not gonna be effective up until we saw the result, right?
Still, understand, this game is all about early game. Kagura is useless early game.
Probably just like your analysis.
You're gonna lose turtle, you're gonna lose tower, and when the enemy team gets so farmed, it doesn't matter what you pick, okay? That's why Luoyi and Valir are so strong, because it's all about early game. Those heroes, Valir level 1 is insanely strong, Luoyi number 2 is insanely strong. And yet, they pick a Kagura who might be useful at level 4, but are completely useless before level 4. And they just want to do that to go against a Selena who obviously outpoked them, right? And it just didn't work. And the most important thing I saw this game is Team Chick's tank player do not know how to play Atlas. This entire...
Alright, we're not gonna go ahead on check on everything. Yeah, I totally agree with him on that was Chester on the Team Chick. He actually outperformed hard so badly on that game, and I can agree with him with that. Alright, so this video is taking too long already. Okay, so it's been almost 30 minutes on the record. But I will not be editing anything from here. I would just like to say, of course, number one for Dave is that yeah, I can agree with some of your point on this video, but I cannot be able to process everything because I felt it's too biased, and I felt that you are such a hypocrite in the parts of you are actually saying here on your video that the meta that you think what's best is the meta that it has to be taken to look at to everyone. All right, and you're somehow saying subconsciously that your the meta from NA is way better in the meta of the Philippines. I'm not saying or at least defending our meta here in the Philippines, but I know how to respect, all right, each country. I mean, we have our flaws, you guys have your flaws, and the way you actually, I'm not really sure how you could be able to do, I mean, if you're looking on the more deeper analysis perspective of this game, is that you are just trying to prove your point and not looking on the other side of the coin, or at least on a two-way perspective. So then number two is, I think the way you actually think here on this video is that you somehow, I mean, looking towards or at least leaning onto the Indonesian meta, and that's respectable. I mean, I've been watching, I mean, a shoutcaster for at least 2 years now, almost 2 years now, and I've been watching different countries play, and the only thing that, yeah, it all boils down, of course, is still going to respect. All right. I've been an international caster for I've casted for Mytel, I've casted for Razor C Invitational, and I've seen a lot of countries. There are countries that are way behind on the meta. There were countries that's somehow absurd on the way on their meta. But one thing is for sure to everyone is that we have to respect. All right, if that is your prerogative, if that was your thinking that this is better, then by all means, you have to say it. But you also have to think of the fact that there are also meta that are supposed to work. But I mean, this is the reason. I mean, what are we talking about here is in regards with meta is the reason they were meta because they were successful and being used and abused somehow by teams on a higher level, right? That's why we look at them as these were the meta heroes on this patch. And the only thing that we can think that this might also be a meta if someone is innovative enough to be able to use such heroes. And like what you've said, why pick the Chango, why pick the Dirot, everything and all. It's because they were these teams are innovative to be able to use this hero. It just so happened that they weren't successful, but one thing is for sure, ladies and gentlemen, as well with Dave, you have to respect them. And number one, and again, before we actually end this video, I would like to say that these teams, all right, they were the individuals. I highly look up onto them. I mean, for even just for determination alone, all right. I mean, I don't want to belittle. I actually say that. So, man, that's so cringe. I don't want to belittle everyone who actually did. I mean, the part of the 1,207 teams. I will never ever belittle every one of them, even the people who actually lost on round 1, because it's sheer determination, and they really like, or I mean, this is their dream. This is what their aspiration and everything. They really wanted to be on the MPL. It just so happened there are probably factors why they cannot be able to win right now. is because probably they don't have enough guidance, they don't have an organization to be looking at them. And I'm not a fan of someone, or at least looking at them. I don't wanna crush their dreams because they didn't did well here on the qualifiers. And para sa mga kasama ko, or para sa mga nanonood dito ng mga Pilipino, ng mga nanonood, sumusubaybay ng MPL Season 6, this video is so heartbreaking enough. Alam ko sa sarili ko na na pwede natin tong hayaan na yan, wala naman yan sa atin sa bansa natin. Pero I would like to defend lang the MPL for itself. As Rob Luna, not as someone because I'm the shoutcaster. I'm talking here as me only, as an individual. I don't carry the image of the whole MPL Philippines itself. Is that I really respect the teams na sumasali. Most especially, just like Team Gisap, the Breakpoint, doon ko na feel na itong mga bata na to, alam mo yun, I have a few chat with them na nagkakilala. I was about to ask or interview them before they actually had on the main qualifier. Ito, medyo nag-refuse sila. Kasi they said to me na ayaw muna nila sana magpa-interview kasi parang they felt that na wala pa silang napapatunayan even na nakapasok na sila ng main qualifiers. Kasi these were probably a team na nabuo lang because of friendship. Okay? And I would just like to let you know that everyone here on the Philippines na fan or at least been playing for Mobile Legends is that it doesn't matter kung may kaibigan kang pro, it doesn't matter kung meron kang mga bagay. Kumbaga naglaro ka lang for fun, bigla ka mong naisipan ay gusto ko pala mag-pro. By all means, we all are capable on doing anything as long as we as long as na may hard work na included, na we actually took effort na matuto. Everything is possible, and yun lang yung gusto ko na malaman and instill lalo na sa mga ng Mobile Legends, ng mga players. Alright, so I guess this is almost a 40-minute and this is gonna be the longest video natin, mga kaibigan. But I just would like also to a disclaimer as well to Assassin Dave. Just like my colleague said, Dan, is that hate the scene and not the sinner. Okay, I don't hate him as Dave. I just dislike the fact na yung mga remarks na ginawa niya about MPLPH and the rest included on the video. So yeah, I guess we could be able to live or to sleep well because the heartbreak na feel natin this past few hours is already been done. Nagawa ko na to, and hopefully to those people din pala na who actually watched the video, leave in the comment section below if what you actually think. Let me know then as well kung ano ba yung mga tingin nyo sa sarili nyo. But yeah, I'll be seeing you on the next video, mga tol.